Welcome to RoseDale Conversations. I am Clara Rose, your host. I own RoseDale Communications, and I am so excited to be with you today, talking to authors, speakers, or thought leaders in your community. Today I have with me Deb Drake.
Hi.
Say hello to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
Without making you nervous about it.
Well, thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate it.
I am super excited to talk with you today about your new book that's coming out.
Well, I'm excited to talk to you about it.
So first, before we jump into that, let's first tell us what you do.
Okay, I'm an occupational therapist.
Okay.
I've been doing it for about 30 years, so I am considered a well-seasoned therapist.
Well-seasoned, an expert for sure.
Yes, thank you.
So, you wrote a book. You have a couple more books coming, but there's a specific reason that you wrote this first book. And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was born with cerebral palsy. I have a disability. And I believe that was something that really led me into my profession. It just really came into my life at a time when I really needed a purpose and a meaning. And my book, Connecting to Beautiful, is really about that journey. How as a disabled individual, the frustrations, the fears, the potential self-destructive behaviors, how we work through those, and how we can come to a point of hopefulness and a place of giving back, dealing with things like suffering, and as I said, fear, and really experiencing the beautiful that's really all around us. And in such a way to bring us to a place of meaning and purpose. And it's just been a wonderful process with you.
So I can tell them that I'm helping you, yes. So I'm her editor.
Yes.
It's just been
wonderful.
A really incredible journey for me as well. Most people who know me very well know that a few years ago, 2012, I did a training called Disability Sensitivity. It was not something that anybody was talking about, but there was a huge uproar in the community about compliance, disability and ADA compliance. And I noticed during that time that nobody was talking about the sensitivity issue and how people were treating, relating to, or talking to people who had disabilities. And so I created this training. So it's been a really fascinating journey for me to get to work with somebody so closely who, although you would never even know that you have a disability, but that it has impacted your life.
It's been synchronous
yes.
in meeting you. I think when we came together and we met, that was something that was so meaningful for me. One of the other big topics in my 30 years of work has really been about folks who are disabled, either temporarily from a surgery, or more permanently, like myself, having been born with a disability, looking at those life roles that we all engage in and how we achieve satisfaction from that. Being a mother, being a provider, which actually led me to issues of intimacy. And that's something that's really not been as well addressed as it could be. And that's my driving force right now, is to open up the communication with that, with other healthcare professionals, to really be talking about issues of intimacy and having a disabling condition. How do we let people express themselves and to be the loving, caring people that we all are. We don't just want to brush that under the rug.
So that's kind of a separate, separate issue, separate topic. So Connecting to Beautiful is your story, right?
Yes.
I learned an incredible amount just in the process of editing on your book. One of the things that surprised me was the reoccurring theme of shame and how it caused shame which there's no reason for shame when you have a disability, but how it caused shame for you.
Yes.
And
extraordinary amounts of shame, and that is a running theme that I've found throughout my own life. And in being able to work through that, my memoir is a great opportunity to work through, but I also have found that in the folks that I work with, there is a lot of those distressing emotions that are present. Can I be who I am and who I want to be after suffering this condition? Can I be you know, my professional self?
Right.
Can I be a loving husband? Can I be, and it's, for me, shame was really laced in with all of that. So again, it's a healer, heal thyself moment where I get to not only work with folks that I've blessed all of my patients that have been so wonderful. They've really taught me so much in my life. Now it's time to give back and to reach out to other healthcare professionals.
So that's the next phase,
That is my next phase, and that's a joy.
So we're just wrapping up Connecting to Beautiful and just getting started on the next book, and which is for?
It is called Rebuilding Life Roles and Intimacy. For those with a disabling condition. And that's really going to be directed toward other healthcare professionals. Certainly family members and the disabled certainly can enjoy and learn from it, but this is really for the healthcare professionals. We really need to refocus, bring back the importance of caring for our patients as people.
Right, in all of their life roles.
Yes, in all of their life roles.
Takes you right back to that conversation about intimacy, because that is a part of who we are as people.
It is.
Something that you said the other day that really got my attention was you said helping a mother who, or a grandmother even, who just wants to be able to hold that child or grandchild on their lap.
Right.
You know, and how do we help them do that in a way if they have a limiting condition, right?
Something as simple as a surgery,
right?
Something that we anticipate being a very temporary process can be so debilitating. We all need love and attention. Sure. We all need that touch and connection, like that connecting to beautiful.
Right.
That's why that's so important to me. And I really have a strong belief that as healthcare professionals, we need to bring it back. We need to really focus on the person that we're dealing with and look at who they are, because we really are all individuals. We are different. We have different needs. But our most important needs are self-identity.
Sure.
How do we see ourselves?
Right. So if you see yourself as a wife, or you see yourself as a provider or caregiver, whatever it is, helping you to work and be in that role still during that transitional time of your life, or if it's a permanent, it could be a permanent disability as well.
Certainly.
So this leads to the next piece of what you're doing, which, you know, some of you may know I have a training background, so this always gets me excited when somebody's going to go train and teach others. So you're not only doing the secondary book, but you're also working on some training. Tell us about that.
I am setting up to become a provider of continuing education, and that is something that as healthcare professionals that's required on a yearly basis, and I look forward to doing that and to sharing those stories of the patients I've worked with and the things that they've really taught me, what it is to be a mother, what it is to be a spouse, what it is to become a grandmother after a disabling condition, let's say even like a stroke. How can you be a grandmother and after having had a stroke? Well, the good news is you can.
Right.
And as healthcare professionals, we need to address that
Those
in that
life
format.
roles. Yeah. So that's super exciting. And then, of course,
the fun stuff.
The fun stuff. Yes,
the fun
stuff. Really quickly, because we're running out of time, but tell us about Ruby.
Oh, we have a children's book.
Series.
Yes, a series actually. Yes. And the characters within the books are our characters. I call them gifts. I don't call them disabilities.
Right.
So we've got a character who is in a wheelchair. We've got a character who has a prosthesis. We have a character who is dealing with the side effects of chemo. And as the series progresses, we certainly will have more and more to represent all of the children out there. We have our little dyslexic character as well, and they're all charming characters, and I can't wait for you to meet them.
Yes, super exciting, super exciting. I'm helping with the edit on this. But it'll be fully illustrated by a local illustrator.
Local artist.
Yeah, local artist, and we are super excited for that to roll out.
Yes.
So, lastly, really quick, because there's so much going on.
There's so much going on.
People can actually reach out to you and have you come in and speak to their group, can they not?
Yes, of course. It's what I love.
Okay, so as we wrap it up really quickly, email address showing on the screen for you guys if you'd like to reach out to her and say, hey, come speak to our group, or love to get a copy of your new book, or put me on the list for when your training's available or when Ruby's available.
Yes.
We'd love to give you an opportunity to connect with Deb. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to come and be on my show.
It's been a pleasure.
So appreciate it. And I look forward to all the exciting things that we get to do together.
Yes. Thank you.
All righty. All right, you guys, we'll see you in a few minutes. Come on back and meet my next guest in a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Okay, we're back. And I have our next guest ready to chat with you. She's busy on her phone, letting everyone know to watch her. So cute. See me. Okay. Okay, yeah, finish your tweet. It's okay. There she is live. So our next guest, some of you may have seen her previously on one of our shows, Dawn Maclaughlin. Welcome.
My pleasure. Glad to be here today.
So you, of course, are already an author of a book. I didn't have the pleasure of working with you on this particular book.
I didn't know you really when I started writing it.
That's true. So we're gonna cut you some slack there.
Thank
but
you
still have a book, and we're super excited to hear about your book. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay.
And then tell us a little bit about your book.
All right. Well, I'm Dr. Dawn Maclaughlin. I am the Food Freedom Coach, and my mission and my passion is to help women free themselves from being caught in the prison of dieting. So to help women create a healthy relationship with food and body so that instead of pouring their energy and their time into trying to manipulate their body, thinking that that's what they need to do in order to be successful and have a healthy, happy life, that I show them how they can tap into their own God-given body wisdom to create peace around food and body and have more energy and be more present and productive in their lives and really pursue their passion and their joy.
So instead of just obsessing over the latest trend in diet.
Can you imagine, I mean, I don't know, people watching, how much time do you spend thinking about what to eat, what you shouldn't be eating, what you should be eating, whether you should be exercising, beating yourself up, what you should cook, all of that stuff. Imagine how much time you spend, even if it's just an hour a day. That's 365 hours in a year.
Ridiculous.
What could you do with that? Imagine what you could do with that.
You could create an empire in that time, right?
You could write a book.
You could write a book. You are so right.
Work with Claire and write a book.
That's right. That's right. So tell us about your book, Food Fight.
Yes. So my book, move my water. This book really is partly my story about my own personal struggles with weight and dieting and developing an eating disorder, binge eating disorder, and recovering from that. But it also has my methodology, what I use with my clients to help them break free to achieve what I like to call food freedom. So it's part memoir, part self-help book. And the reason why I wrote it is because, I work one-on-one with clients. There's only one of me. There's only so many clients I can work with, and I want to have a bigger impact. I know that there's so many women out there who are struggling, and I know that this book can help them, and this is the feedback I've been getting.
So actually, when I read the book, I was surprised at how simple, the simple little things that you can do to help just shift the way you think about food and its place in your life.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we were, in some sense, we were designed from a very simple basis, the way that we incorporate food into our lives and interact with food. Not just for nourishment, but acknowledging that we are designed to get pleasure from food. We are designed to create celebration and companionship and connection through food, and that's okay. And this whole diet industry has really created disconnection from all that. We have been told we can't even trust our own bodies, that we need to either follow some list or follow some program because we can't trust our bodies. And that, I believe, goes against how we were designed.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree. I found lots of really great tips and tools and an easy read, but lots of information. And I was shocked by your own journey.
Yeah.
Right? Things I'm like, wow, you seem so completely functional and normal.
I was really good at doing that, and that's one of the surprising things, and one of the things that I've learned working with all different kinds of clients. For my own personal journey, I was a smart woman. I went to MIT for my undergraduate. I got a PhD from Boston University, and I was teaching and training and publishing and doing all kinds of stuff all throughout the world. So if you looked at me on the outside, my career looked great. I was married. I had we were pretty financially secure, whatever that means. So from the outside, everything looked perfect, but on the inside, I was hating my body. I was struggling, and so it ended up being that I developed binge eating disorder. And I've worked with other clients where you can't you look at them and you think the same thing. Oh, you know, this woman, she's beautiful, she's thin, she's young, she, you know, has it all.
Got it all. Yeah.
But on the inside, she's struggling, and you know, you can never tell, although we do judge, but you really can't tell what's going on inside someone's experience until you get to know them and create a safe space for them to open up and share what they're struggling with.
So in your coaching practice, you teach these principles, right? But you work one-on-one with people, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how that process works.
Yeah, so there are principles in the book and there are activities in the book that you can go through that can really help shift your relationship with food. But a lot of times,
it's like a good starting point.
Yeah, it's
right?
a great starting point. But a lot of times it comes down to what's going on in your individual psyche. So I'm trained in what's called eating psychology or food psychology, and you know, I'm able to go in and help uncover why it is that you use food in the way that you do. And everyone's a little bit different. It could be related to something that happened in your past. It could be related to something that you're struggling with in your life right now. And on that individual basis, we can really go in and address those things and shift them. And you know what, the need to use food in the way for emotional eating, for coping, just dissolves itself. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. We're complex, aren't we?
Yes, we are. So yes, I tell you, if you can fix it all, buy a book, then please buy the book.
Yes, absolutely, buy the book.
And then you give me a call.
Yes, because this goes so much deeper.
Yeah.
But this is a great starting point just to get in touch with some of your own reasons, maybe. You know, as I was reading through the book, I thought, oh, is that me? Do I do that? Am I? Yeah, sometimes I'll reward myself.
Yeah.
I was really good. I'm going to have a treat. Or, oh, what a crappy day this was. I'm going to have a treat, right? So the way we talk to ourselves about food and justify food to ourselves.
Or now that I've had one treat, I might as well just keep treating myself for the rest of the day.
Right, the day's shot anyway, right? Right.
There you go.
Or, you know, a Saturday, I might as well just, you know, eat whatever I want for the weekend, right? And then I'll just start again on Monday.
A lot of it,
right?
there's actually a technical term for that. It's called Last Supper thinking. It's that thinking that I will never have the opportunity to eat these foods again. This is kind of the psychology that we create around restriction, food restriction and dieting. I'll never have the opportunity to eat these foods again. I've already kind of dipped my toe in, so let me go full in. Or there's the mentality of, I'll get back on the wagon tomorrow.
Yeah, Monday's my favorite day.
Whatever that day happens to be, yeah.
It's a joke at our house, literally a joke. Yes.
And what I tell women, I say, imagine if there is no wagon. There's no wagon to fall off of, get back on. You just have a natural, peaceful relationship with food. Food is just food. You enjoy it. You understand that you can eat whatever you want, whenever you want. But at the same time, you learn how different foods affect your body. You learn that certain foods give you great energy, make you feel good, and certain foods rob you of energy, give you brain fog and lethargy, things that a lot of people just think is common, but is not. It can be linked to the kinds of food you're eating. So that's one of the things that I do in my practice, is really help connect people to how food is affecting their body and allowing them to see that, you know what, they can be great and it doesn't matter what size they are. And I think this is one of the big boondoggles that we've been kind of snookered with, if I may, is this idea that you need to, in order to be healthy and happy, you need to be at a certain size. And it's just not true. I mean, more and more research is coming out showing that there is no direct correlation between health and weight, that when you kind of factor weight out, the more significant factors that determine our health. Number one is genetics. Genetics is huge. And it is what we eat, right? So if we are eating McDonald's, I'll pick on them. If we're eating that every day, that's going to have an effect.
Yeah. So you're saying that we can't eat McDonald's every day?
You're not going to, and you're not going to feel good.
You're not going to feel good.
You're not
you
going
could
to feel
eat
good.
It, right?
You could,
okay. So you can
but
eat whatever you want.
You're not going to feel good.
Yeah.
So it's,
how do you want to feel?
It's how do you want to feel? How do you want to show up in life? Yeah. And the other thing is stress. Stress is huge. I think stress is the #1 issue affecting our health today, and people aren't taking it seriously.
So you can help them with that as well.
There's a lot about stress in the book. Yeah, I have my own methodology for stress management, and yeah.
So we're almost out of time, but really quick, is there one last thing you'd like to share, or can people bring you to speak?
I love speaking for audiences and sharing this information. It's so important. And this is the way that we're all going to help create a new culture around food and weight and body, is by doing that. So if you do have a group, please contact me. If you'd like me to come speak, you can email me at dawn@dawnmclaughlin.com. You have to be able to spell it right. It's M-A-C, the word laugh, because I like to,
yes.
L-I-N. And I also offer free consultations. If you're interested in having a conversation about what's going on with you, again, you can email me or go to my website and set up an appointment. And I'd love, it's my blessing, my honor to be able to share time on the phone with you and help you figure out what's going on.
Okay. Well, we are just about out of time, but I wanted to take just a second to thank you for coming and being with us today, for sharing with our audience the good news that you don't have to fight the food fight. Right?
Yes, you can end the struggle.
You can end the struggle.
Once and for all.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Clara.
We're going to go to commercial now, but make sure that you stay right there, because when we come back, we have 2 more guests for you today, and we are super excited for you to meet them as well. So thanks so much.
Yay.
Okay, see you guys in a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
And welcome back. So we have our next guest already mic'd up and ready to go. I'm super excited to introduce you guys to her. Her name is Larnelle Scott. Welcome.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
I'm super excited to have you. So we are just finishing up your book, which has been an amazing journey. I had to laugh the other day. I confessed to her that, you know what, I'm enjoying that God gets after you as much as he gets after me. It's been super fun to work on your book. Before we talk about your book, tell us, now this is not in any way related to the work that you do, the book that you are writing, but tell us about what you do really quickly.
Well, what I do professionally, I work for the state of Florida's Guardian Ad Litem program, and I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator, which means I am sort of the face of the program. I do a lot of recruitment for volunteer advocates. I do interviewing and presentations and run sessions. We're always trying to get advocates to volunteer to be the voice of the child for the children who find themselves in the foster care system.
And it's an all-volunteer army, right?
Well, we do have a
you guys have staff
of child advocacy managers, but we depend largely on volunteers to work the cases.
Tough gig. Yes. So this is totally unrelated to your profession, but that happens often. People write books for a number of reasons. It doesn't have to necessarily be related to your business or what you do. It could be, personal development. It can be professional development. It could be leaving a legacy. There could be lots of reasons. Tell us why you wrote a book.
Well, very simply put, I wrote the book because I was told to. I heard almost 2 years ago, literally, I had a very strong impression in my spirit. I heard God say, start writing some things down because I want you to put it in print.
You're like,
so
what?
I was like, okay. I'll start writing things down. I'm not sure what putting it in print really means, but, and I just started doing that almost 2 years ago, and as it went on, it started becoming clearer and clearer, and all the way down to how I met RoseDale Communications even.
Isn't that interesting? God ordained something. So, in the very beginning, and I know this because I'm helping you with your book, tell us a little bit, you talk about a little bit in your introduction about how it kind of all came to be, how that you came to that place where God said, I want you to write this down. Yeah.
Well, every year, usually towards the end of the year, I start looking for a devotional for the next year to guide my quiet times with the Lord. And this particular year, I had selected Sarah Young's devotional, Jesus Calling, Enjoying Peace in His Presence. And it wasn't 2 to 3 days into the new year when I heard this. In the beginning of her book, she talks about how she was holding a pen in hand and something to that effect. I don't remember exactly what, but she was holding a pen in hand to write down any impressions that she might have had. And I heard God said, you get your pen in hand because there may be something I want to say specifically to you. So I did, and I actually used the very same pen the whole year.
I'm impressed, because how many of us can not lose the pen?
Right, I had a special place where I do my quiet times, and I had that very same pen the whole year, and it was just an experience. Did He give me a word or a special message every day? No, but every time He did, I would write it down. And then after that, after the year completed in 2017, and I'm still feeling this, okay, put it in print, and I'm thinking, okay, what do you mean put it in print? And then it was just messages. And so then I heard Him say, take an old spiral ring of index cards that I had created some years ago, just in my quiet times, particular scriptures that might jump out to you sometimes that have a particular message for you, and I would write the scriptures down. And then He said, take that pink spiral card ring and attach scriptures there that fit what I told you all year long. And I'm thinking, wow, okay.
Okay.
I started going through that process, and it was just really amazing. The connection, and some of the scriptures didn't seem like they had a direct connection, but for the message that He gave me, it was a connection. And so I started doing that, And I wanted to hold true to the integrity of what he told me. And so even some of the messages, because I knew other scriptures, and I thought that would go perfect with that message. But it was like, nope. If it's not in the spiral ring from years ago, you don't put it on there. So as a result, I have several messages from him that I've left open so that people can find their own scriptures that he has impressed upon them. But I wanted to remain true to what he told me. And he said, only use the scriptures in that ring to support the messages that I gave you. So that's what I did.
Interesting how, of course he's God, so you know, right? How he took something that happened previously and something that happened in a different time frame and just put them together beautifully. So now I know, because I'm, you know, helping with, you know, I'm doing the edit on the book, right? And helping with development, but you kind of have it set up in such a way that we get to see what God said to you, and then we get the scripture, but it's up to us to go and read that scripture, right? And then there's a blank space, and what's the blank space for?
It's a blank space for the reader to write down the special message that they hear God saying to them. And so I was thinking about it, and it's sort of like, I hate to say reality show because they're kind of staged, but any type of show where the camera's following them around and you kind of see the famous people and what they say and how they live and how they interact. Well, it's kind of like that. It's like I'm giving a peek into my interactions and communications and conversations with the most famous person in the whole wide universe, which is our Father. And so in a way, I feel a little bit vulnerable because these are personal messages that he gave to me according to what's going on or whatever he felt like at that time. But my prayer, my aim is that from that, it will be a jump start to whatever the reader, when they read it, that it will, at whatever level they are with the Lord, from an unbeliever all the way to the most mature saints, that it will take them to the next level, that they will learn God in a fresh new way.
Very cool. So here I am, you know, she's talking about how sometimes she was vulnerable, and here I am giving her grief about how God gets after her.
Well, he does. He does.
He gets after me too.
That's right.
Sometimes
he wouldn't be a father if he didn't.
Yes, in love, of course.
In love,
right,
absolutely.
right. And that's what that time every day really is about, getting to know and that closeness with the Lord. So this is a book that somebody might pick up and use for next year's devotional for themselves. Much in the same way
this year's, because I don't have dates on them. It's not daily. It's more topical. We went through that wonderful exercise of looking at all the messages and kind of seeing where they kind of fell. And so there are 8 different chapters that have 8 different topics of categories, if you will, of messages that I received. And so the user is wide open, can use the book however they see fit.
And also a great Christmas present to give to somebody.
An awesome present. Christmas present, birthday present,
just because present.
Yeah.
Very nice. Might also be a nice for a ladies group.
Yes.
Or a small ladies Bible study or something. Yeah. It doesn't have to be ladies, of course, because you know guys can. Guys can participate too. Producers in my ear saying, "Hey, what are you talking?" It's not all about the women, but you know, God loves the men too.
Absolutely. Or even book clubs. I've already had a couple of folks reach out to say, "Hey, maybe you can come to the book club." I'm not sure where this leads. I just knew that I had to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of remaining open wherever it leads.
Walking in obedience.
Yeah, just to see what happens.
See what happens. Well, it's super exciting. We're super close to publishing, so we are just ready to order proof copy, which is the last stage, so that we can get it in our hot little hands and flip through it and make sure everything's beautiful and we're happy with everything before it actually gets published. So within a couple of weeks.
I know it is surreal, actually. A little bit scary.
Is it scary?
A little bit scary, but on the other hand, I know that I'm doing what I was told to do, and so after that, beyond that, it's on him.
Right. You just walked in obedience.
Yeah.
So, what's your book called?
The name of my book is Okay, Okay, I Hear You.
Okay, I hear you.
Okay, all right.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super excited for it to come out. So, do you think you'll write another book?
You know, Rose, I don't know.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd write this book. and the crazy thing is, I mean, I have a degree in journalism. And in corporate America, and even to some extent on my job now, you know, I've written courseware and curriculum, and of course presentations and emails and letters and so forth, but never, it never crossed my mind about writing a book.
Interesting.
So that's why I know it had to be.
It was totally a God thing.
That was never like an aspiration of mine or anything like that.
So this was, and it's totally not a traditional book. Right?
No, it is not
like
a traditional. It is
read it.
Yeah, I say it is few on words, but it's full of message.
It is.
It's heavy on message.
Yeah.
And so it's not going to be a reader's typical experience reading a book, nor I don't think it'll be the typical devotional experience.
Oh,
you know, I've done a lot of devotionals and they've been great, but this is not your typical daily reading devotional experience. It kind of gears you to how you and the Lord want to use it.
Right, right. It is very different. So it's not like you're going to read a whole chapter and read a bunch of scriptures and all this. It's sometimes a word and a scripture verse, just something little or a couple of sentences. And then it's time to listen to what God has to say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, believe it or not, we're just about out of time. Is there anything else you'd like to share really quickly before we go?
Well, I am on Facebook now for the book.
Yeah, woohoo!
Which is I never
kicking and screaming, mind you. We drug her to Facebook, but yes, you'll be able to find her there.
But it's facebook.com, Larnelle Scott Author. I'm also on LinkedIn, and I'm being pressed by my son to get a business Instagram page. So we're going to see. We're taking it slow. I'm trying to understand Facebook. I'm on there trying to see what's what. You know, I just want to thank everyone. I sent out some texts yesterday to announce the book was coming out and asked people to go to the Facebook page, and I've had a great response. Thank you to all my friends and families and well-wishers and everything. A greater response than I think I even realized. People are telling me so-and-so commented and so forth, and I can't find it. I'm looking for it. And so forth.
I'm sorry, but we have to go. Thank you so much for being on the show with us. Sorry to keep you guys longer than we should, but we will see you next month. Oh, you're right.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Welcome back. So I'm glad you didn't leave us. So into my last segment, I'm like, okay, see you next month. I'm like, wait, I'm not done. The show's not over. And we have a super important guest who's our last guest of the day today. He is none other than our very own producer and the owner of Tampa Bay Multimedia, John Gaston. Welcome.
Well, hello.
Well, hello.
How are you?
I'm lovely. How are you?
He's got to go in a wide shot. I don't like my close-up.
Thank you for being on the show.
No problem.
Twisted your arm, I know.
Yeah.
So
not really, but
not
okay.
really, yeah.
I
so
like it.
Before we get started talking about the coming book, tell me about Tampa Bay Multimedia. No, tell them because I already know.
Well, first and foremost, we're a video production company.
Okay.
That's what we do. We cut commercials and all that kind of stuff, but we specialize in live streaming like you're watching now.
Right.
We are 25 years in the Tampa Bay area.
25 years.
Streaming live since 2006.
Wow.
So I am one of the pioneers of Tampa Bay.
Wow.
For live streaming.
Of the streaming
Yep.
world.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah. So that's what that's where our goal is to build a television station.
And how many shows do you currently have on
20.
Your station?
20 stations.
20.
Yeah, 20. And get ready to drop by January 4 more.
Wow. Okay. And so how many total shows when you're on round the clock every day? How many total? Just so that we understand.
Well, there's 25 shows a week, or 20 shows a week, and every day we average. There's one that's every single day.
Okay.
And that's the quarterback show.
Okay.
And then every day there's 2 or 3 different shows.
Different shows. Okay.
And then during the week when we don't have shows, we just rerun those in reruns. But our goal is to have 70 shows where there's
70 shows.
There's no reruns.
Okay. So
except
then that's
for maybe
not repeats.
Once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were going to be pure on demand, but I'm like, no, I'm going to build a
following.
Yeah. And that way just rolls and rolls. Because sometimes people won't be able to see it.
Right.
I mean, like if we're live today at 3 and they missed it, oh my.
Right.
Well, now they can go back and it'll rerun.
Okay, perfect.
And that's a good thing. It's how do you build a brand.
So tell us about how many people are watching.
500,000 to 1 million a month.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's
we have a decent following.
That is a decent following.
And we, the majority is Florida, but the overall is across the United States, actually across the world. We've actually had one of our shows was seen on the International Space Station.
So we're
interstellar.
Interstellar.
That's correct.
That's awesome.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So just one show though. The whole thing isn't being.
Yeah. Well, I don't. You don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe they liked what we do. Now they watch a bunch of our other shows. You never know.
We need to email somebody and find out.
They don't have cable up there.
Oh, so we're it.
So think about that.
Oh yeah.
They're watching stuff like this because
Streaming.
they do have internet capabilities.
Just no cable.
That's right.
So we are their sole entertainment.
We could be.
We could be.
That's right.
Too funny.
It's all about the web.
It is.
Web is crazy.
It is, and it's definitely where we're going.
Yeah,
right?
it's TV will never die. Print will never die. Even though people, print's dead, or this is dead, or blah 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 is dead. That's not the way it works. But the internet, as of right now, this is the mobile. This is where we get our news. We get our information. It's all right here. So, might as well jump on the bandwagon. And actually, I saw that in 2001. I knew that's where it was going to go.
So you started building something to.
Yeah. We started. I'm probably one of the earliest podcasters in Tampa Bay because we had my wife's show in 2006 on iTunes.
Wow.
Before you could stream, before there was Spotify, before there was YouTube, iTunes was it.
Yeah.
So I jumped on the bandwagon immediately because I knew that's where you'd go.
So do you still do some podcasting?
Oh, everything we do is a podcast.
Everything.
We have a product called. So we're a hybrid.
Okay.
So because we're doing this show through video, right? And we're streaming it out. When I'm done, now I take that MP3 and it can be technically put up as a podcast. So everything we do is double duty. So what we've called, we've coined the phrase, we're Podvision.
Podvision.
It's podcasting and television, and we combined it, so now we're Podvision.
Okay, so somebody can come to you and do a show or a commercial or whatever, and you have the video with the audio. Then you can pull out the audio piece only, and it can be a podcast for them.
Yes.
So do you have people come to you and say, hey, I want to do a show and strip out and do a podcast from it?
You know,
so packages that we can buy?
Yes, yes. Most people don't understand that we're the high, it's hard to say, we're the Ferrari of podcasting, because we're going to do it with video side. And then we're going to give you that audio side. Now you've become, you've got double duty going on.
So you have the professional quality of having done it right from the get-go.
Yeah, there's no editing.
Just pull out the audio.
When we're done with this show today that everybody's watching, we're done.
And it's just going to be...
It's done. The audio gets pulled out. Yeah, so now you have this, and then you have this.
Nice.
Yeah, we killed two birds with one stone. I hate seeing killing birds, but that's just
right. But the point is that if somebody's thinking, man, I want to do a podcast, right? Or I want to have my own show or whatever as a business person, you could literally have your own show and then also have your own podcast from the same exact material.
Exactly.
And it's professional quality podcast.
Yeah, literally when they come.
Closet.
Right. You know, they're not sitting around a table in their underwear talking to a microphone.
Right, they put on clothes.
Or she's already gone. Or a robe. Yeah. But you know, it's a 2-for-1. When you walk in, and when you walk out, you get to walk out with your product. None of this. Well, in 2 weeks it'll be ready. No, it's ready to go now.
Right, because we did it live. It's a done deal.
Yep.
Very nice.
I streamlined it. I mean, there's the days that even just an audio podcast or an audio adventure at all was just weeks of work.
Right.
You know, 3 cameras. If you're shooting 3 cameras on something like this, it would take me 2 weeks to 3 weeks to edit the video down. Right. So now we've got it in lower thirds. I mean, the video, everything you sell on everything you see on TV is what we can do right here for a fraction of the price.
Right.
Right. But I tell people, they immediately go, oh, well, that's not a lot of money, so it must not be very good. I said, no, you need to go look at the stuff we've done. And our content is some of the best you'll see on the web, on the internet, or on TV.
Made a way that it isn't going to take you weeks to pull it together, so you can charge
30 years I've been doing this. 30 years I've watched, and I've watched us fail. I've watched us, wow, this is just taking way too long. There's got to be a better way. Okay, well, I have the better mousetrap.
Yeah. So now you have the better way.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
So all of this knowledge that's stuffed up in your head is going to be a book, huh?
Yes. It's going to be, It won't be an instructional book, but it'll be a book of, I think what I want to do is I want to go through, I'll edify myself, like who I was, what I've gone through, what's driven me to do what I'm going to do. But then I want to go through this is what we did. This is, I mean, I've worked with some really, really high-end clients, and those high-end clients, even those high-end clients, there's got to be a better way to do this. And by listening to them and watching other people fail, and we've just become, and for a while there, we were known as the cheap guy, because what would happen is people wanted to start studios. We started building people's studios for them now, churches. There's probably 20 churches in this area that I've done and streamlined their audio and streamlined their video, and I've got them all streaming now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So long time. Doing this a long time.
Well, what comes from doing it for a long time is the ability to distill it down to the nuts and bolts.
Right. You know, there's a movie coming out, and I don't know if it's on television or for the theaters, but the guy said this. The guy said, let's make all our mistakes here, so they're not making mistakes up there. Yeah. So I've made all the mistakes. So once I've left you, and I've either done your production or I'm helping you do your own productions, we've made those mistakes.
Right.
You know, it's like parents and their little kids. Don't do that. Well, Dad, you don't know. You don't understand. I do know.
Yeah, I do know.
That's why if I could get clients and people like that to listen to us, like our kids would, it would be
our kids
whole
don't
different.
listen to
No,
us
they don't.
Anyway.
Doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, you're so right.
But yes, I am going to do a book. I'm actually taking a KPI class over with Topher Morrison in Tampa, and one of the things that we have to do is we have to become published.
Yep.
So
So there you go.
So I'm like, okay, well,
All
I'm good.
right.
I got that done. Well, I'm not going to do it. I'm just being flat out honest. I have a ghostwriter. Yeah, you don't.
But the point is, you're going to hire a professional who has made all the mistakes and
made the mistakes. See,
built
you
a better
streamline
mousetrap.
it. You know how it goes.
That's
correct.
exactly true, and and it's going to be an amazing book because
I hope so.
It will be.
It's like 35 pages. Half of it will be pictures. It's all good.
It'll be super easy.
If I can fit video in there somewhere, I will do that, but I don't know how yet.
Yeah.
Working on that part.
Okay, so we're just about out of time. So
Yep.
is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
No, just keep watching WeBeam TV.
Just keep watching and share with other people.
Yeah, share all this stuff. We have, I mean, you just go to WeBeamTV.com and look
Just
at all
check it
the
out.
shows. There's so many shows. And people keep asking, what's your demographic? I don't have a demographic. Everybody can watch our stuff. I mean, down from 10 years old to 70, 80 years old, even 100. There's something for everybody.
So before we go,
Yes.
Really quickly tell us about the business show that you're kind of.
Oh yeah,
doing special
okay.
right
So
now.
we started a brand new show called A Focus on Business, and I did it because it's great to have everybody come in and get 10 to 12 minutes, right?
Right.
But that's just not enough. So you sit down with me. I make it very conversational, and we joke, we have fun, but we go through 4 segments, and every segment is a different aspect of your business. And we really kind of get into it. And then, but of course, the last segment's always, who, what, when, where, why. Where I can get a hold of you. Hold on, but why are you doing what you're doing? Because everybody has a story.
Yeah, everybody does have a story.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is your opportunity as a business person to sit down and have a whole hour of quality video.
Right. For less than $1,000.
Less than $1,000. See, that's crazy talk right there. Crazy talk.
Back in the day, to get an hour's, it used to cost $1,000 per finished minute.
That's crazy.
So if you wanted a 30-minute show, it's $30,000.
I'm out.
I've literally fixed that.
Wow. So it's just like this, the show that we had today.
Literally on the same set.
It's just like
Everybody
this,
wants my set. So
but you get to talk about your business in 4 different segments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So in my ear, they're saying we got to go.
All right. Well, we gotta go. Bye.
So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me on.
appreciate you being on this side of the camera.
Weird.
And now, for real, for sure, we are done for today, and we will see you next month on RoseDale Conversations. Thank you so much for joining us.